Alright, Tuesday stream again, this time as Vajula as Soul Saver with the Brandt Gate Ace unit. So let's begin. So first off, let's start off with the grade 3 generics with the Dark State 1 Fixed Time Dragon Proes Roya, which is a grade 3 with 3 power and skillless. Count Rearguard Guardian, gets intercept and 5k shield just like the other one. With the second skill, Auto Rearguard once per turn when this card attacks Vanguard. If your Vanguard is at least grade 3, cost range plus 3, choose a Rearguard and put it to Soul, and this card gets 5k power in the end of the battle. And then if you have 4 more damage or you personalize during the turn, this card gets this skill into the end turn. Auto Rearguard. When your opponent's unit is put on Guardian, if that unit's grade is equal to the one that you put to Soul by the original auto ability of this card, that unit gets shield minus 5k into the end battle. Overall, not too bad since it is technically a removal or a choice soul charge for you, while also basically a minus shield on your opponent, which could be kind of nasty sometimes, especially if you pick a grade 0. But once again, this is a run in your own leisure. And then we go to Calamalistic Dragon Goro's Dam, which is grade 3 with 3 power and skillless. Count Rearguard Guardian, gets intercept and 5k shield just like the other ones, and then has the skill of when it attacks the Vanguard and the Vanguard is at least grade 3, cost energy plus 3, your opponent chooses one of their rearguards and bind it, and this card gets a 5k power in the end of battle. But if you have 4 more damage or you persona during the turn into the end of the battle, this unit gets additional 5k and your opponent cannot play Blitz Order from hand. The extra additional skill is pretty nice, I just don't like the part where your opponent gets to choose what card to bind. But it is once again run in your own leisure. And now to the Brandt Gate Ace unit. Vermeil Exordia, which is a grade 2 with 2k power and the skillless. Once again, it's an ace unit, 1 per deck, unique skill, 1 time per game, auto, when placed on rearguard other than during battle, this unit has 5k power and then cost energy plus 3, look at top 3 cards of your deck to choose up to 1 card from among them, and put in your hand, of course shuffle your deck, but if your order zone has at least 2 cards, look at the top 5 instead. Basically, this is just an additional one-time search for any Brandt Gate deck, which could be useful, but there's a lot of generic Brandt Gate cards for their own archetype that could search throughout the whole deck, so I don't really see too much use for this, but it could actually be useful sometimes. Especially, just like the other ones, this is a loner attacker where auto rearguard, when this card attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is at least grade 3 plus 5k, and then cost rest one of your set orders, and then get another 5k. Which many decks do not even rest their set orders, which is actually fine. For a one of search, it could be pretty useful, but for an ace unit, I just wish that it actually searches throughout the whole deck instead. And now for Vajula RewriteForm Alfknights, which is basically Vajula rewriting himself as Soul Saver. So it's a grade 3 with 13 power and skillless. Rewrite at hand, if your opponent's Vanguard is at least grade 3, cost bind your rewrite the star Vajula, the original one, from your Vanguard, write this card as stand, and then perform all the following. And then at the end of turn, write the bound card as rest. Just think of it as Vanguard basically. So the listed skill is search your deck or drop zone for 1 Galaxian and call it to rearguard, and then search your deck or drop zone for 1 ultimate skill card, reveal it and put it to your hand, of course shuffle your deck. With the other part is into the end turn, this card gets this skill into the end turn. Auto Vanguard once per turn, when this card attacks, cost counter plus 1, stand all your front row rearguards, and this card gets drive plus 1 to the end of the battle. And then all your front row units gets with 5k power for every same card name as this unit in your soul. It's basically the upgrade of the original one, except that this is a temporary form. But one thing I do like about doing this is that the original one, you can use the Act Superior Call skill before you ride into this, which will give you additional call and additional search to basically fill up your front row. But not only that, it restands their whole entire front board and also drive, with extra power on top of it if turns go by. The only thing is, this doesn't do any persona riding, so it can suck a bit that you have to run those extra copies of grade 3s that you're just gonna need a persona ride with, and then after that you have to ride into this. But overall, this is a pretty cool temporary form upgrade, and being dressed up as Soul Saver is just pretty awesome. And into the card that was actually leaked, starring Sky Knight 0. This was a little bit of a surprise since this was not part of the stream. So it's a grade 2 with 10 power, and it's also treated as Knight of Silent Skeleton because it's 0 dressed up as Skeleton. But anyway, it has a skill. Auto, if your Vanguard is Royal Paladin, this card can be also paid with Energy Blast 3. So when placed on rearguard, if you do not have a rearguard with the same card name as this card, cost counterblast 1 and draw a card. For some reason, I was expecting it to call itself, but to draw a card for this? Kinda weird, but Energy Blast 3 to draw is something normal, so I guess it works. But the second skill is Auto Rearguard. When this card attacks at least a grade 3 unit, this card gets 5k power, but if you have 4 more units, plus 10k instead. Keep in mind, this is Cater Royal Paladin, so this actually makes sense. And being a big attacker is something Gallatin is known for, and it's actually pretty helpful. With the final skill, Auto Rearguard. Once per turn, when this card attacks while your Vanguard is Royal Paladin and you personalize during the turn, and this unit was stood by your Vanguard's ability during the turn, cost counterblast 1, 1, and your opponent cannot activate auto abilities until the end of the battle. So first off, the restand condition, I'm just thinking Alfred might be restanding rear guards here, since I cannot think of any other Royal Paladin in D that actually does it. But second, the part where it nullifies all auto abilities into the end of the battle. That could even be the PG, which can actually be quite nasty. Especially since this is already a big beater on its own while also getting draw power, this card's overall pretty nice. We just need to see what other Royal Paladins that we get. Just surprised that this got revealed not in a stream. And finally, before we go, the Dual Nation cards are getting reprinted in Festival Collection. Really awesome, finally. And so that's it for these new reviews with the new Vajula, along with the Brandt Ace unit and the surprise extra review of Zero. What do you guys think of it? The Brandt Ace unit is just whatever, it's just another generic that you can run, and just like the other generics as well, same thing. But the new Rewrite Vajula along with Zero, just pretty awesome additions. Just need to wait and see what Alfred is going to do. But on that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.